Yeah, so basically that's my story.
Dude, that was really touching. Especially the part about your dog's cousin's wife.
Thanks. I've been through a lot. How about you, man?
Oh, me? Yeah, let me, My name is Verso, and I'm addicted to Tomodachi life living the dream.
Dude, this is an AA meeting. You know? Like Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh, that's what that means? Yeah, don't mind me. I'll just play on my Switch until my friend picks me up.
Forbidden art, lock the fuck in.
Sealed demon of listening to Lebe.
Satoru Gojo's bewildering bind. Now, attack.
Ah. Same dream every night.
Tomodachi Life Living the Dream has been one of my most anticipated games ever. I have played so much of the original and honestly believed for a while that we weren't really going to get a sequel, let alone on the Switch. But lo and behold, on March 27th, 2025, Living the Dream was announced. During the hype up to the game, I could barely contain my excitement. I even had a countdown on my phone for over 2 months. But finally, on April 16th, 2026, I got my grubby little mitts on the game. In today's video, I want to go over what makes Tomodachi Life Living the Dream special, and the ways it improves on the original, and also some ways that I think it could still be improved, even if I think it is a great game. The game is a life sim and sequel to the original games, Tomodachi Collection, which only released in Japan on the DS, and Tomodachi Life, which released on the 3DS worldwide. I personally have never played the original on the DS, as I don't really speak Japanese, and didn't also have a way to get my hands on the game when I was younger. Maybe one day I'll get to it, but that's a conversation for another time. The 3DS game, though, I have a lot of experience with. I played the original a ton on my 3DS, but a lot of the basic gameplay loop remains the same in Living the Dream, so I won't get into that now. But that means all there is to do now is to go over what the game is. Tomodachi Life is a life sim game. It gets compared to Nintendo's answer to The Sims, but it's quite different. You start by making a Mii character. In the original, they told you to make yourself first, but in the new game, you don't get that same push, though I personally still did make myself first. In the game, there really isn't a lot of gameplay, if that makes sense. It's more like an Antfarm. You make more Miis and watch them interact with each other, and new to Living the Dream, the outside world as well. This is perhaps the biggest new addition to the game. Instead of your Miis being confined to an apartment building, you place their houses around an island that you can fully customize. And because of this, you can watch your Miis interact with each other all across the island, going on walks, chilling under trees, and more. As the game goes on, you get warm fuzzies, which are your XP that you gain by making your Miis happy. This can be done through giving them things like food, clothes, treasures, or more. Or it can be done by fulfilling the requests. This is the main gameplay loop of the game. You click on a Mii with a problem, and then solve it. Their problems can be as simple as them being hungry, or it could be about their relationships with other Miis, like making new friends, asking someone out, asking someone to live together, and more. Your Miis may also ask you to play a game, in which there are a handful of mini-games that you can then play with your Mii. You can use the warm fuzzies you gain on the fountain to grant wishes. And using the warm fuzzies, you can get a multitude of things. Goods which you can give to your Miis when they level up, like your guitar or workout DVD. Little quirks are another level up award you can give your Miis, but instead these influence things that your Mii does, like how they walk, eat, and more. You also can get items for decorating your Mii's houses and the island itself. And travel tickets which allow you to send a Mii on vacation. Along with this, you unlock new buildings to place around the island as the game progresses. But I'm not really going to talk about them, as I don't want to spend forever talking about what the game is. But all in all, you spend most of your game just interacting with your Miis and sort of just seeing what happens. But now that we have the basics of how the game operates set up, let's get into what this latest entry works and what doesn't. And to start with the bigger of the two.
I mean, it's alright, like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean,
I mentioned this earlier, but the ability for your Miis to be able to hang outside all over the island makes everything seem way more lively. Your Miis in the original would spend a lot of time sort of just standing in their apartment doing a whole lot of nothing, but now it seems like they're always doing something, even if it's just chilling at a park bench. Along with this change, you now have full control over your island, and I'm always a fan of customization in games, so I love this feature. It especially makes seeing everyone's island online a lot more enjoyable. There is tons of customization, and speaking of customization, the pallet house is another great addition to the game. Being able to not only make your Miis, your island, but the clothing, food, and items as well is super fun. Along with this, you can also make custom items to place around your island. Lots of people have tried recreating places from video games and living the dream, and the fact that you can get pretty close is crazy. The pallet house uses the same system that the makeup system uses. Makeup is a semi-returning feature from Metopia's Switch release, in which you can further customize your Mii's face. But unlike Metopia, where you had a bunch of shapes and had to try to just use them to make whatever you wanted, you can now just draw on the Mii's faces. And overall, this has allowed your Mii's to look like practically anything. Along with the makeup, there have been a lot of new features added to the Mii Maker. The biggest change of all of the features, though, is that the hair has gotten a big rework. They are a lot more natural looking now. Along with new hairstyles, you can also mix and match some features from the hair, specifically the front and back to make more customizable hair. And lastly, to keep myself from rambling, I love the Island Lingo feature. Basically, for tons of interactions throughout the game, your Mii will ask you to input something for them to talk about with another Mii. These can be people, activity, things, phrases, and more. And that by itself is a pretty fun feature, but the game actually stores all of the info that it's given, and your Miis will use the lingo you've used all around the island, and it really makes it feel more alive. Like, for instance, your Miis will just randomly bring up some random activity that you mentioned to them while just talking to another Mii without any of your interaction. Overall, Tomodachi Life Living the Dream has a ton of great features, and I could sit here all day gushing about how many things there are to like about this game. All of these features really add up to make this entry feel like you have way more creativity with the game. Almost everything in the game can be customized to how you like. Alongside this, your island feels way more lively with Miis all over the place just living their lives. Now, sorry to stop the fun parade, but I have to be at least a little nitpicky so it doesn't seem like I'm blindly glazing this game. So let's talk about...
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
I know I was not that long ago talking about how great the makeup feature is, but I do have some problems. The biggest disappointment is how they changed it from Metopia's system, where instead of being able to customize all of your Mii's parts individually, you just put one layer of face paint. Now, even when I played Metopia, I never really went into face paint like that, but the fact that the nuance is completely gone, and even if you wanted to go crazy, you can't anymore, is a little bit disappointing. Well, unless you're fine with your Mii being completely frozen in their drawn face. But besides that, I still love the face paint feature. Now, whether you agree or not, I think it's a bit disappointing to see that the Mii cap was lowered. Now, yes, I'm sure there are people out there that will never even hit this cap and are rightfully a bit confused at people complaining about it, but as someone who will most definitely hit the cap at some point, it's a bit disappointing to see that the limit was lowered. But it's not that big of a deal, and hey, maybe we'll get a Switch 2 update to fix this issue? Probably not, but a guy can dream. The biggest issue seen throughout this game is a sort of repetitiveness at times. I wish there were a bigger handful of events and minigames. As if you are playing consistently, you will experience almost every event and minigame this game has to offer pretty quickly. And this isn't a big issue overall. Tomodachi Life isn't the sort of game you're supposed to drop 40 hours onto within a week, but it still feels like there should be just a little more variety. This feeling also overlaps into the fact that a handful of features from the original game are strangely missing, and these aren't really small issues either. The concert hall, one of the most popular things from the original game, is missing. Judgment Bay, the compatibility tester, the ranking board, quirky questions, Tomodachi Quest, and more are just all gone. It really feels like a lot of this game's more interactable features are just gone. I could totally see them adding some of these features back as updates, but this is also Nintendo we're talking about, nothing is ever certain. I mean, just think of the possibilities. You could have your Mii's perform all over the map, the rankings board could be expanded into things that they do around the island, or show the most popular lingo, and more. While a lot of these really feel like kind of inconsequential features, it adds up to this game feeling like there's kind of something missing. But hey, anything could happen. Maybe they'll make their way back into the game through a future update.
All praise the Versanite YouTube video. Praise.
Yes, I know I did just spend the last minute or two complaining, but I am loving this game so far. The level of customization this game offers is so great. I love being able to make anything for my Miis and make my Miis look like practically anything. All in all, I'm probably going to keep playing this game for quite a while. There's something so comforting about this series, even if it makes it to a point where I might have trouble putting it down. It's so nice just to check out my little island and see what everyone's up to, watching their lives unfold, and the entire game just has a calming aura to it, even while still managing to be quite funny at times. Well, that's all for me. This guy from the AA meeting invited me out to drink, and I don't really know what he wants to drink, but I'll just see where that leads. See ya!